Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Earth Fact Study with Nandini. Today we will learn a new topic. More or less we all enjoy rain. After summer season, it is the rainy season which gives us relief from the scorching heat of sun. This season helps plants, crops to grow properly. Now we have to understand the mechanism of this season. The Indian climate is strongly influenced by monsoonal winds. The word monsoon has been derived from the Arabic word mosim, which means season. The word is used by Arab navigators several centuries ago to describe a seasonal reversal of winds in Indian Ocean, especially in Arabian Sea, in which winds blow from southwest direction in summer season and from northeast direction in winter season. We know sometimes wind blow from sea to land and sometimes land to sea. Next, we have to understand some conditions for understanding the monsoon properly. Here we can see two pictures. First is showing extreme hot climate and another is showing cold weather. The place with higher temperature develops low pressure region and the place with lower temperature develops high pressure region. So whenever this type of pressure difference created, air starts moving from the high pressure region to the low pressure region. Next is the differential heating and cooling of land and water surface. We all know that land heats up and cools down faster than the water. So in summer, low pressure develops over the land because of the intense heat and high pressure develops over the water or sea. And we know that the wind moves from high pressure to low pressure region. So the wind moves from sea to land direction and the opposite conditions happens in winter season. Now, Coriolis effect. How the wind direction is affected or deflected by Coriolis effect, we have to understand this. The earth is spin on its axis from west to east direction. Here we can see this clearly, and the earth rotates faster at the equator than the poles because the earth is wider at the equator. So the point on equator is moves faster than the point situated on the pole. Now, Coriolis effect in northern hemisphere. Like this is our earth, this is the equator, and Coriolis effects in our northern hemisphere. Suppose you standing at the equator and your friend standing in North America. If you throw a ball to your friend in a straight line, it will move to the right direction. Okay, because your friend moving with the earth at slow speed and you moving faster than this. So this deflection is known as Coriolis effect. This deflection is known as Coriolis effect. And why the ball is deflected to the northeast direction? Because it in the right direction, because it will tend to maintain their motion. That is why it is moving in the right direction. So for this force, all the winds, ocean currents tends to move towards right direction in the northern hemisphere. Now Coriolis effect in southern hemisphere. Now you are standing at equator, and if you throw a ball to your friend in straight line, here your friend, and if you throw a ball in straight line, it will appear to left to your friend. To left to your friend means in this direction. Okay. Now because your friend is moving with the earth at slow speed and you moving faster than this, so and this way in southern hemisphere wind tends to bend at the left. Here you can see this. In northern hemisphere wind tends to bend in the right direction, and in southern direction wind tends to bend in the left direction. This is known as Coriolis effect. Next, the most important, ITCZ means intertropical convergence zone. The areas around the equator gets high amount of solar rays, which create low pressure region, and these attract the winds of high pressure region. and due to the Coriolis effect, wind is deflected to their right at the northern hemisphere and left at southern hemisphere. These winds are called northeast trade winds and southeast trade winds. The low pressure region where these two trade winds is converge is known as ITCZ. These ITCZs moves north or south of the equator with the apparent movement of sun. Now what is apparent movement? The earth is moving around the sun and the earth's axis is tilted 23.5 degree. We know sometimes northern hemisphere and sometimes southern hemisphere get direct heats from the sun. This is the apparent movement of sun. So when the northern hemisphere gets direct heat or light from the sun, the ITCZ moves northward from the equator, and on the other hand, when the southern hemisphere or Tropic of Capricorn gets direct heat or light from the sun, the ITCZ moves southward direction from the equator. So these are the some basic things to understanding the monsoon. Now we will learn the mechanism of Indian advancing monsoon and will easily understand this. The India is located in the northern hemisphere. The summer approaches in Indian subcontinent from March to May. Due to the apparent movement of sun, the ITCZ moves northward over the Ganga plains, and you can see here the ITCZ moves in the northward direction from the equator in the Ganga plains, over the Ganga plains, and due to the intense heat, a low pressure region develops here. In addition to this, the Tibetan plateau north of the Himalaya gets intensely heats up during the summer season and form a low pressure area. It intensifies the low pressure condition of the Indian subcontinent. As the water surface around the Indian subcontinent is cooler, so here develops a high pressure region or high pressure. And especially, see here in the Indian subcontinent there is a low pressure, there develops a low pressure region, and here in the sea surface there develops high pressure region. Especially around the island of Madagascar, the high pressure develops. Due to this pressure difference, the winds of high pressure region tends to move towards the low pressure region. As we all know that wind moves high pressure region to low pressure region, and the southeast trade winds gets attracted towards the low pressure region. After crossing the equator, it bends towards the right because of the Coriolis effect. So the wind is known as southwest monsoon. Now the southwest monsoon pick up lots of moisture from the ocean and caused rainfall in the Indian subcontinent. The monsoonal wind have two branches. One is Arabian Sea branch and another is Bay of Bengal branch. Arabian Sea branch arrives at Kerala coast by the first week of June, and it approaches Western Ghat mountains, and here occurred orographic rainfall. Another sub-branch of the Arabian Sea enters from the Run of Kutch and moves northwest direction, as the Aravalli mountains are at the parallel to the direction of the winds, so there is no chances of rainfall in Rajasthan. And the third sub-branch of the Arabian Sea moves from Narmada Tapi valley and moves eastward towards the Chotanagpur plateau, and here it meets with the Bay of Bengal branch, and it creates rainfall in the central part of the country. Another branch is Bay of Bengal branch that moves in the northeast direction, and it gets resisted from Khasi Hills in Meghalaya plateau and creates lots of rainfall in the southern slope of Khasi Hills. Here is the place is known as Monsoon that receives the highest rainfall in the world. Winds cover almost all the parts of the country. These winds blow from June to September. After September, due to the apparent movement of sun, ITCZ moves towards the southern hemisphere. So the low pressure zone in the Indian subcontinent withdraws. As a result, the pressure difference that attracts the winds weakens and gradually disappears, and the pressure condition now reverses the positions due to the apparent movement of sun. Low pressure region is created in southern hemisphere and high pressure region is created in the Indian subcontinent. Now the northeast trade winds gets attracted by the low pressure region which is created in the water surface, and in this way the monsoonal reversal of winds starts. This rhythmic reversal of winds is common in Indian subcontinent. That is why it is known as monsoonal climate. Thank you for watching my video.